Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Protecting the Village show, brought to you by the Protecting the Village campaign, powered by Treasure Coast Communications and Marketing, and funded by the Allegheny Franciscan Ministries. I'm your host, Anthony Maynard, and today we have with us Amber Batchelor from WeVenture. Amber, welcome to the show. We're going to go ahead and get right started. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a native of Fort Pierce, this area, Florida in general? Are you a transplant? Give us a little background.
Sure. So I am born in St. Petersburg, Florida, so just across the way from the Treasure Coast, and grew up in North Carolina, but ultimately wanted to make my way back to Florida because I have some very dear family members here. So I love the area.
Okay. So not quite a transplant, pretty much a native, right?
Right.
Okay, and you know Florida,
Yes.
the state and the lifestyle here very well then.
Yes.
Okay, so now how did you come to be working and connected with Lincoln Park?
So I actually had an opportunity to meet through the city of Port St. Lucie in their Business Navigators program, and ultimately the county.
Okay.
I got to meet Angela Brazil, and Angela is a retired radio executive, and she owns her own ad agency, and ultimately she created the Minority Treasure Coast Business Expo. So they're like, you got to meet Angela if you're meeting people in the area. And I told her what we're doing, what I'm interested in, and ultimately the demographic that we want to serve. And she's like, you have got to be connected with Pam Carithers at Lincoln Park Main Street.
Okay.
So ultimately, Lincoln Park Main Street really connected me to the business community and the families in Lincoln Park area.
Awesome. Shout out to Angela Brazil. She is like super business person,
Yes.
network person in this area. If you don't know Angela, look her up. She has a whole lot to offer.
Yes.
A number of things that she does. So you're from WeVenture, and I know that for our viewing audience and for a lot of people in Lincoln Park, even though that you're working there, they may not be familiar with what
Right.
WeVenture does, how it works, what it is. Can you share a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. So we are WeVenture Women's Business Center at Florida Tech College of Business. We are funded through a cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration. So we're one of the 100 plus women's business center programs throughout the country,
Nice.
and fortunately one of only a handful in the state of Florida. So we focus on low and no cost business consulting and coaching and mentoring program for women and all entrepreneurs. So that's ultimately what WeVenture is, and we were founded through the Women's Business Ownership Act of 1988, and that was really focusing on, we need to focus on the underserved and historically excluded members of our community, and ultimately that's usually minorities and women. So that's kind of when you say, who are you looking to serve? It's kind of the demographic that we're always attracted to.
Okay, because I know my understanding and some of the history that I saw in WeVenture, that's definitely your focus. But you work with other entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs as well. Can you touch on that in terms of how broad it is, your clientele and your base?
Absolutely. So about 86% of our clientele are women, and about 14% are men.
Okay.
And ultimately, of course, when you have a woman in business or a woman professional, she may have a partner or spouse or significant other that's male. So of course, that 14 to 16% extends upwards of that. So we like to say that we're gender neutral or gender inclusive,
Okay.
because we support male entrepreneurs also in terms of how broad we serve. We also are looking, when we talk about the historically underserved or excluded, that includes veterans and veteran spouses as well. So of course, for our men in service or maybe retired or prior active military, we are always looking to support that group also.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to make sure that the males out there who may be connected
Yes.
to a woman who's in business and so
Yes.
forth, there's a place for you now. There's a place in all of this for you.
Yes.
So we wanted to underscore that. Can you talk a little bit about, now I know you touched a little bit about businesses and owned by women and things of that nature. My understanding is that there's another side of WeVenture as well in terms of for the individual to participate, not necessarily as it relates to their business, but as it relates to them as a professional in their career. Can you touch a little on that?
Absolutely. So we actually collaborate with Athena International.
Okay.
And Athena International is a leadership development program for that emerging or upcoming leader. And we're looking for professionals, so business professionals. So if you're looking for something to give you an edge, something to provide you that courage or that additional boost, then our leadership development program is perfect for you. And if you are an established business professional and you're looking for an opportunity to coach or mentor some of those emerging leaders, then we're looking for you to be facilitators or special guests or subject matter experts throughout that leadership development program. And then, of course, we have several education sessions and purposeful networking opportunities that we have. And those opportunities on a greater scale are open to, of course, women and then our allies, our male allies.
Nice. So in all that you're doing, and that's an incredible breadth or width of experiences, different programming, working with different individuals. In all of that and working in Lincoln Park specifically, have you encountered any challenges? Are there any barriers that WeVenture has encountered in working in that area?
And that's a great question, and thank you for asking. I think the barrier to entry for us is really just access of who we are. People needing access to our brand, so brand awareness and brand comfortability for people to know that we are a program of the federal government, of the SBA, and that allows us to be able to provide our programs at no or at low cost, depending on what the program offering is.
Awesome.
So for us, it's just getting the word out there, connecting with individuals like yourself and Tico Studios and all these other amazing professionals that we have met in the St. Lucie County area. So when we look specifically into Lincoln Park, we really just want the business community to know that we are an organization that's here to put a hedge of support around you, a business professional or an aspiring entrepreneur. We really are here to support you in every way, and we're not a one and done organization. We have a tri-county service area that includes the Space and Treasure Coast, and we are focusing in on the Lincoln Park area because the SBA has identified, we have two core areas that we're looking to really, really focus in on.
Okay.
The rural areas and opportunity zones, and Lincoln Park is right in that area. And then also for Black entrepreneurs and Black business professionals. We know that that particular group was one of the most adversely impacted groups when the pandemic hit. So we want to make sure that we are here. We've started a lot of response, but now it's recovery and resilience time.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I guess the short answer is brand awareness. We really that's been a challenge for us. So as many people that we can connect with to help us spread the word, we're excited to do so.
Well, we're so glad to have you on the show and part of or connected to the Protecting the Village campaign for that purpose. We exist to really get information like this out into the community. So I'm hoping that the viewing audience will start to talk about WeVenture and spread that information.
We hope so too.
Certainly so. So now, I don't want to give the impression that it's just Amber
Right.
in Lincoln Park hammering away. Can you tell us a little bit about your team? Are other individuals involved, and what they bring to the table as well?
Absolutely. So in order to protect the village, it takes a village.
Right.
So we have a phenomenal team that I get to support. So I am the Women's Business Center Program Director, but ultimately we have our Executive Director, Catherine Rudlove. She brings a wealth of knowledge from the political realm and advocacy, and she's phenomenal with that and really just guiding our organization to make sure we're staying on track with what's happening in the community so that we're right there and ready to respond. And then also we have our Ignite 360 Program Director, Kathy Register. Kathy's amazing. She comes from a background with L3 Harris before they joined together. She was one of the first women in leadership and ran a very large call center. And so she had some challenges as a woman in the professional space, so she has that background to be able to support professionals as they're looking at challenges in their industry. Okay. And she does a phenomenal job with our trademarked business mentoring program, Ignite 360. And that program has really great outcomes. She is pushing to make sure we have 100% close to 100% graduation rate for all of our clients that go through that, a 40% return, a 40% increase in their revenue when they graduate from our program. So she's doing a lot of great work with Ignite 360. And then we have Susan Erickson. Every group needs that glue that keeps you together.
Okay.
And Susan is a tenured staff person with Florida Tech, and she really keeps us all together as our programs manager. We usually have a grad student, and this year it's Lucy Eden, so shout out to Lucy. She's phenomenal if you see any of our social media marketing. And then we have, fortunately, thanks to additional funds through the CARES Act, there were set aside dollars for women's business centers to scale up, to keep our doors open, to be able to support communities like Lincoln Park. So we have Jeanette Crar, a phenomenal serial entrepreneur, as well as Kyle Graham, another business coach, another successful entrepreneur. So that way they can speak from experience as they're supporting the business community. And ultimately, to wrap it up, we have over 75 subject matter experts that are experts in their field of a core element of business. So when we work with folks one-on-one, when we talk about putting that hedge of support around an individual or a business or an organization, that's where our subject matter experts come in. And we ultimately report up to an advisory board with the College of Business, and that's overseen by our dean, Dr. Theodore Richardson. So Dr. Richardson, if you see this, don't tease me later, okay? I'm making you a U.S. president if you didn't know.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
I've had the pleasure of encountering a number of those individuals via Zoom and different meetings and so forth. It is a tremendous team.
It is.
That you
Thank
have.
you so much.
And you're doing wonderful work. I had a question in regards to that because, these programs are really important as it relates to in the business and entrepreneur space, giving women opportunity, and encouraging and training and all of those things that you're doing. Over the course of the time that WeVenture has existed and has been hard at work with this, have you noticed it stemming the tide? Have you noticed a change or really making a difference and impact in the lives of women who are trying to be entrepreneurs and operate in the business space?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we were started in 2007, and since then we've served over 13,000, clients.
Wow.
And when we look at clients, we look at unique clients served. So a brand new individual coming through our doors or virtually through our doors now, to be able to support them to be successful, to reach their goals, to set goals, to know what to achieve. And we are absolutely seeing an impact in the lives, the individual lives. Sometimes when we put that hedge of support around someone, and what I mean by that is really putting together a team of individuals designed to really support the goals that they're trying to reach. Sometimes if we take a notice to say, this person might actually need a mental health counselor as well on that team. It's not associated with their business, but just going through our application and vetting process, it's something that one of our staff members or business coaches picked up on, and we will bring in a mental health coach. And we're seeing that even more so throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
We also see that entrepreneurs need to have an increase of confidence and courage in order to stay in business. So in addition to having the normal coaching and business mentoring, we also add an element of motivation and inspiration. So that way we are igniting the power of entrepreneurs. So we are seeing impacts in those ways. So someone might walk through our door very timid, very reserved, and then when they graduate through our business, one of our business launch programs, they are now confident. They have a pitch deck ready to go. They're in a position to get the funding that they need, and we're excited to say that a lot of our graduates are also creating jobs. So over 93% create jobs. So often, yes, we're working with that solopreneur, but when they get an opportunity to grow and we work with them on those growth plans, they are now contributing to the economy. So we're excited to that also the capital infusion that's over $100 million strong with our clients. So we're very grateful for the hard work of the entrepreneurs in our community.
Wow, 93%, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That is excellent. So with all of that being said, and I think you've given the viewers a good understanding and some background on WeVenture, we're headed into 2021. New administration came in at the beginning of the year, and there's a lot going on. Is there anything else that you want to mention coming up either later in the year or in the future for WeVenture that the general public should know?
Well, thank you so much for asking. So absolutely, with this new presidential administration, there's going to be more stimulus bills that are coming out. So I challenge you, keep your ear to the ground. Go to weventure.fit.edu to sign up for our email newsletter. If you're like, I'm not really sure if this is the right fit for me, at least stay informed. We like to keep folks informed so they can make calculated decisions for them as a professional or them as a business. And there are some new stimulus bills in the pipeline, and some we want to take very, very close look at, but we always keep everyone fully informed since we're so connected to the Small Business Administration. We also, every year, do our Women Who Rock Awards, and that is honoring the living legacy of women that are in business or small business owner, or we didn't talk about nonprofits, but we also work with nonprofit organizations, community service, a STEM award, in the workplace. So there's so many different opportunities. We want to make sure that you nominate some of those in that living legacy. And we also are going to be having a really big annual benefit because we are a nonprofit and we do have to raise dollar for dollar to match our grant that we get from the federal government. So we're always looking for investors, plug there. But for our annual benefit, everyone is invited. So it's about wine, it's about women, it's about shoes, and we'll be making a really big announcement coming up soon how you can participate, so stay tuned for that. And we also have our Impact Summit. Our Impact Leadership Summit brings professionals together from all over the Treasure Coast. We're really excited to get more professionals from the Lincoln Park area involved this upcoming year, but it's a phenomenal program. It's been virtual, in the recent past, obviously, to keep everyone safe and secure, but we want you to stay tuned for that. And then ultimately, we always have our Ignite 360 Business Mentoring Program available on a rolling basis for you to enroll. We also have our Pathways program, which is our business launch program. And then ultimately, we are collaborating with Lincoln Park for our entrepreneurial series called Launch Your Venture. So turning your side hustle into your main hustle. How are you financially lit in terms of financial literacy for your business? And then ultimately, resources to help you rise. So stay tuned for all of those upcoming this year and beyond.
Wow. That's a lot. I'm glad we caught all of that on tape so we can rewind and catch the information that they need. You mentioned the last question that I wanted to ask you because 501c3s and nonprofits, one of the specialties here at Treasure Coast, communications and marketing. We deal with a number of them. We've helped establish a number of them, help them go after grant funding and so forth. A number of the services that you mentioned is an extension of some of the things that we do. So I just wanted you to touch bases on the whole nonprofit side of the 501c3s that you work with, any of that information, so that those out there who are involved in those types of organizations know the benefit that WeVenture can provide there as well.
Absolutely. So being in a cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration, the B in SBA is for business. So if we're working with a nonprofit, in order to be able to offer those free services to the nonprofit, they have to somehow have a mission associated with entrepreneurship or business. So that's not always what you find when you're looking at a charitable organization. So those are few. So in terms of supporting the many with 501c3s, we often collaborate with a larger anchor institution, like maybe a community foundation or another institution that has the grant dollars that can underwrite the services, and we offer a nonprofit nominal rate, and that literally just covers the cost of being able to put them through that program. So everything that we offer businesses, we also offer to nonprofits. And I'm actually working with a nonprofit organization right now. We are spending several of our Sundays, so we do work at evenings and weekends as well to make it convenient for you. So the executive director, founder, and her board of directors, and she is phenomenal. This lady is amazing. So African-American female, very, very strong when it comes to entrepreneurship and youth entrepreneurship. Okay. And they are laying the groundwork to be able to continue to grow. So everything I'd put a small business or aspiring entrepreneur through, we're putting not just the executive director, but her whole board through and helping them with their strategic plan development. So we go into detail. So, absolutely, to your point, it's a complement of a lot of the work that you all are doing, and we try to stay with them along the way as they're growing. So if you are a 501c3, or if you're interested in investing in a 501c3, we would love to talk to you so we can get some of those fees underwritten to put them through that program of support.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. We want to thank you for joining us on the Protecting the Village show. You've heard everything that Amber has laid out. You can contact WeVenture, or you can contact the Protecting the Village campaign. You can join us as well and see all that we have going on in relation to small business on the LincolnParkGuide.com. We'll be posting new opportunities related to Lincoln Park and small businesses as we move forward into the spring. Thank you again so much for joining us today. This has been the Protecting the Village show, and we'll see you again next time.